These are the stories
My little girl, she's changing lives just by being herself.
of organizations and people making a difference.
When you first tell someone about adaptive wheelchair boxing, it doesn't sound real.
And empowering others
It saved my life. It saved my life.
across Canada
I scored my first goal in my first blind hockey game.
in our community.
Vecova, it continues to teach me a lot. It continues to affirm a lot of my beliefs in inclusion and equity and diversity and making sure that there's a place for people. I'm Caitlin Pexon. I'm Vecova's communications manager. As a woman of color, as a queer person, I really feel like it's my responsibility to raise up other marginalized communities. If you are a person without a disability, there are expectations that you have for your life that are just inherent. Whereas if you're a person with a developmental disability, oftentimes people won't give you these expectations. I don't think that's fair. If you give a person a chance, they're going to rise to that chance. They're going to do something with it, and that's what Vecova does. In a perfect world, a place like Vecova would just be the standard. Everywhere you would go would be accessible to a person with a disability. Everywhere you would go would have, the right kind of adaptations for you, or the right kind of people who have the skill sets to support you. We have a program called Coffee and Music. It's 50 people who come in one of Vecova's gyms. It's a beautiful, blue room, and they request their own songs. We have coloring and drawing and art projects out for people to do if they don't want to dance. We have puzzles, and it's just really just a fun hangout time. During Coffee and Music, Lynette can usually be found drawing or creating.
People can sort of gather in and get coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. And we kind of chit-chat and talk about anything. And then after that, music, and people can decide if they want to dance or not. It's their option. And I have danced a few times.
Lynette is super straightforward and cool. She's like a sniper with her jokes.
And I'm very active. I've been here for the last 10 years, so I know the system pretty well. Monday, I go to employment. Then on Tuesday, I do the physical exercise, and after that, go to lunch. And then Thursday, there's another program that I stay for the whole day.
We have goal-based processes for people. Lynette likes public speaking, so we've given her opportunities where she can, do speeches for us at different events that we have.
One time I had to do a public speaking in front of everybody, and I did quite well, so I'm doing something right. I had to think of everybody in their underwear, so that's how I could start speaking.
All of our wellness aspects really try to build resiliency within the individual, whether that's mental, physical, social. I'm Tom Naisted. I'm the Director of Wellness Services here at Vecova. How do you make sure the individual is engaging in activities they want to be doing? How to make sure they get the confidence in those activities so that they can keep progressing? That resiliency, that confidence is really what makes up that greater wellness.
My name is Kelly Holmes-Binns, and I'm the CEO of Vecova. The combination of services we provide is unique. There's nowhere else like it in Canada. We're well positioned to grow and increase capacity here, as well as engage the community in a way that other agencies might not be able to do.
So right now we are in the atrium.
It's beautiful. It's so bright, and it's nice to have the greenery in here, and we'll have to figure out a way to preserve some of these trees for the new facility.
When Vecova was first designed in 1969, they wanted to create a space that was brighter, that was more open. So having something like the atrium, where all that natural light that can come in, was purposefully built so that it wouldn't feel stuffy and clinical and institutional. There are long hallways that take people to the different programs, but it's all very communal so that we can all collaborate and work together and work with people with disabilities.
We're supporting almost 900 people with disabilities each year through the multitude of services that we have.
1 in 5 people in Alberta have a disability, be it a developmental disability, a temporary disability, or an acquired disability. Vecova is a necessary place. The customization of our services is something that really sets us apart. We really take what the consumer wants and give them the support so that they can make these dreams or these goals come true.
From housing to employment, the support offered by Vecova focuses on the overall wellness of the person through coaching rather than caregiving.
Employment for us takes a fairly central piece of a person's life journey. Most people hate to admit it, but work is a big part of everybody's life. So that work experience, that work part of wellness is certainly a key factor that we include within our core services. Michael's been involved with our employment services program. He's also one of our employees within our services that we provide out of the airport. He wanted to have a change. I think he was there for 20 years.
I worked there for 23 years. A lot of work.
Through the employment program, Michael is once again on the hunt for a job with a goal to work at a grocery store.
The call was staff. I got jobs for lots of clients.
All the sound you're hearing is cans going through our automated machines. So we count any beverage containers that have been approved in Alberta. My name is Kyle Plant. I am currently the manager at Vecova Bottle Depot. In my youth, a number of my friends had various disabilities, and they were the best friendships, most fulfilling friendships I ever had. I think that's kind of what spurred on this value that anybody should be included and be given a fair chance at having meaningful employment.
The Bottle Depot operates as one of our social enterprises. One of our staff people had this idea of, let's teach our clients about running a business. And they taught everybody how to sort. They taught everyone the value of the returns, and it's just exploded into what it is today.
Currently, we have 2 clients from Vecova. They are employees here.
My name is Jason Barefoot. I work serving the customers. I was a client to start with, but very, very short period of time. All I basically need was their employment services to give me help with that. And one thing led to another, and I came here, boom. It wasn't so much as finding a job. I never had a problem with the interviews per se. It was keeping that job. Met up with the supervisor at the time. He changed my life forever. And within a week of being here, my entire life changed instantly. It seemed like overnight. It fit in for the first time in my life. I could do my job with confidence. I was able to focus on what I was doing. All sorts of skills that I developed over the years because I started here.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
Mike has started a new job. He's working at a grocery store. Right now, he's doing a lot of cart retrievals, bringing the carts from the parking lot back into the store. Michael is a really busy guy. He has a lot of things on the go. So Pamela's there to help him figure out what his schedule will look like now that he has a job to fit into that.
So do you want to tell me about how your first day of work went?
It's good.
And so your next work shift is going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It looks like tomorrow's going to be training.
Training.
And you're going to have somebody there to help assist you.
Yes.
And what time do you think we should maybe start planning to get up and get ready?
I'll get up 9.
9? Okay. How do you feel about your schedule?
Happy.
Happy?
I'm Keith Geddes. I'm the Director of Housing Services here at Vecova. In terms of housing, we listen very carefully to what our consumers are asking for when it comes to their support needs, and that changes over the years and through their lifespan. It is very individualized depending on what people are looking for and what they need. We have about 115 individuals that are housed through the Vecova Housing Services. And that could be any number of models. The home support model, the shared group living model, or the home sharing model where Michael lives. It's called Bishop Manor. It is owned by Forward Housing, which is another nonprofit organization that provides low-income housing. And we partnered with them to lease a number of spaces in that building. Michael's a very social person and he likes to be very busy, so he has his privacy, but he also has that opportunity to be really connected. He's expressed interest in seeking out more independence. It's been really successful because he has really been part of that community within the building.
We have a lot of parties at Bishop.
Oh yes, too many.
Too many. Is that a good problem?
Just kidding.
That's always the goal of our mission, is really to find and create housing environments where people can thrive.
It is a nice, typical January, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's snowing, but it's not so cold that it's like minus 40. So this is the dedication that was put up on the spot here. And that's where they buried the time capsule. And on our 25th anniversary, we buried another time capsule just right beside it. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was cool when we opened up the time capsule. It was a bunch of articles about the planning of Vecova.
On the 50th anniversary?
Yeah. So it's just a nice touch point to the current facility, and knowing right now we're standing in the new touch point of the new facility is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
This is a historical part of Vecova. It should remain in some
find a new home.
Place.
Yeah,
exactly.
a place of prominence in the new facility.
Vecova started in 1969 by a woman named Christine Meikle, and she had a son who had Down syndrome. And at that time, recommendations were made to people who had children with developmental disabilities that perhaps they should be institutionalized, but she adamantly disagreed with that. So she created an elementary school, a school for her son and his peers around her kitchen table. So the further along that process went, more kids started coming in, it got even bigger. And her son got older, and she's like, he's now an adult, and there are multiple kids here who are now becoming adults, and them being in school isn't appropriate anymore. So she decided to work with the University of Calgary, and they created Vecova. So it was a place for adults with disabilities to kind of choose their own path. And something that Vecova did in the 90s was a group of our clients got together and they worked on a charter of rights for people with disabilities. And it's things like, I have the right to live the life I want to live. These are things that weren't even considered as within the realm of possibility for people with disabilities. And Vecova created it. That group was lucky enough to present it all around the world. And as we've progressed in our understanding of how we should treat other people, we've gotten better at serving the community.
Our community will return after the break. We now return to our community.
Oh, thank you. Yay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Explorabilities is one of our programs for people with disabilities.
Everyone's doing good, though?
It's a community club. So every week they learn about a new topic.
Yes or no?
So it's facilitated by Savannah. She helps choose a topic.
Today we are learning about snakes. If you are scared of snakes, I do want to let you know, you can close your eyes. You can step out if you need to and come back. But I will let you know that snakes aren't as scary as we think that they are.
There's Q&As.
My first yes or no question for you. Do you guys think snakes are venomous?
There's a lot of them down in Australia.
So, table 1 and table 2 say no. Table 3 and table 4 say yes. The answer is yes. Actually, many snakes. There are 600 that are venomous. Some snakes, mostly pythons, can grow up to 7.5 meters long. That's pretty big though.
And then we have body breaks during it, so we'll have a little bit of time throughout the day so that everyone can just get their wiggles out, because it is a class, right?
Okay, so we're just gonna stand up first. We're gonna just shake our body however we wanna shake it. You can follow me, you don't have to. But after, when the music stops, grab your snowballs and I'll put a new song on, okay? Are we ready? Maybe we can clap a little bit.
Lynette comes every day for Explorabilities. What she likes most about it, I think, is like the trivia components and like the art parts of it. And she likes to be active too.
Hold on, we're not done yet.
Part of today's break included a snowball fight, and we all got these like cotton balls that everyone just took and went wild with. And honestly, I think my cardio for the day is done.
Fitness, I think, ties in on a lot of different ways. Certainly people can use it for general health, but I think it ties far more into day-to-day wellness as far as being able to do your activities of daily living.
The aquatics health and fitness programming that we provide helps people to address their physical needs and well-being. And that's also where we can help support people who have temporary disabilities from an injury or a surgery through our therapeutic pool, through fitness classes that are adaptable and accessible. There's many groups who come to Vecova so that they can participate in physical activities that they love and can do so side by side with people of varying abilities. We're supporting almost 900 people with disabilities each year through the multitude of services that we have. In terms of visitors to our center, it's 390,000 each year. And with the new facility that we're planning to triple that utilization to almost 1 million visitors every year to the centers. It's an older building. It was built in 1969, and at that time it was state-of-the-art and really progressive. But times have changed and our learning has evolved over that time. And it no longer really meets the needs of our community that we serve in terms of its functionality and its capacity. And we're hoping to replace it in the near future with something that is just as state-of-the-art for now and into the future as it was back in 1969.
Where are we standing?
So this is going to be the welcome hub in here.
Oh, like we're in the building right now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The accessible loop will go through what's now the parking lot here to drop people off. There'll be that loop there for Access Calgary. And then people will come down here and enter there into the welcome hub.
Are we gonna break ground in the same place that they broke ground in 1967?
I don't know, that would be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Vecova has changed a lot in 50 years, but the building hasn't. Our goal is inclusivity, and we want to have a building that's welcoming to all people, regardless of your ability.
This current plan has been in the works for 10 years, and it really started with discussions about the lack of functionality and capacity that we currently have.
A lot of thought has gone into that design in terms of accessibility and the lighting, the way the building looks, the way the building is going to sound in terms of acoustics, how the different programs are going to be accessed.
We really need government support. We have a commitment from the municipal government. We're seeking a commitment from the provincial and federal government. We need the community to come together and help support this important and meaningful initiative. I see the new Center for All Abilities really coming into its own, being a leader as we continue to evolve our services and our supports needed for people with disabilities.
The individuals we work with will only succeed when they are supported in different ways. Now our support has changed over the years where we are more of in a coaching role than a caregiving role. But just helping provide not a risk-free environment, but a risk-sensitive one where people can be able to experience things that they haven't experienced before and do it in a safe and effective way. I think it is so very important to help individuals maximize their resiliency, their wellness, their participation within the community so that people aren't left behind, as well as have the community enriched by the individuals we work with.
When I first started, I didn't know what's going to happen to me, so I thought maybe I'll try and see. And if it does not work, we'll be coming back. But it's working okay with me, and if it's working, it should work with people who like to know more about it and not to be afraid in the community.
As we're improving as an organization and as the community is becoming more and more accepting to sharing the community with a wider range of individuals, certainly we're seeing improvement. There's still a long way to go.
The future of Vecova will be bigger. It'll be more purposeful. I hope it'll give people the sense of everywhere in the world there may be barriers, but when I come to Vecova, there are none.
Producer Chandra Schatz. Writer-director Blake Horobin. Narrator Jim Van Horn. Director of Photography Michael Sorrell. Camera operator Cameron Zacharias. Editors Eric Gillis, Cameron Zacharias. Production manager David Roberts. Sound mix Gary Bruckner. Special thanks Michael Jameson, Lynette Corkin, Pamela Bunis, Savannah Cruz, Kyla Martin. Integrated Describe Video Consultant Ron Rickford. Supervising producer Jennifer Johnson. Content Development Specialist Jim Crisco. Manager Programming Lizanne Gagne. Director Content Development and Production Karen I. Vice President Content Development and Operations John Melville. President and CEO David Arrington. Copyright 2023 Accessible Media Inc.
An AMI original production.